Today we're back with another community member gameplay review. Now, first things first, if you want your gameplay reviewed, you can go ahead and submit it in my Discord. I put a link to join my Discord down in the comments, as well as instructions on how to submit. Now, today we are breaking down gameplay from Viatic, who is a 2KD console player who drops a 26 kill solos win right here on Rebirth. And I love breaking down solos because everything's a 50-50 situation. Everything's a 1v1 gunfight. We can really pay attention to how does Viatic go about winning those in a sweaty lobby. This is a 1.21 KD lobby. First tip for console players is going to be information. He uses his mini-map very well to determine where he's going to push next, because at the end of the day, you can't always rely on what you see on console because of that FOV disadvantage. And yeah, it's a disadvantage, so you have to use this information to understand where people are. The second is going to be keep your distance. If you've seen my console videos before or are subscribed to the channel, you know that I always talk about keeping your distance on console, staying outside of that 5 to 7 meter range. And what Viatic does is, first of all, he's constantly pushing people, so he keeps control of the gunfight. He keeps control of the distance between him and his enemy. But the second thing is, if he does get caught in a bad situation, he's either going to hip fire or he's going to make an adjustment to be able to get that kill, which we'll pay attention to. The third thing is going to be his centering, and this is what I really want to focus on today. He's going to act on this information to the left. He's got people above him, so he's going to go and act on it. Look at the centering right here. He's able to get that kill, and he's able to get the second kill as he turns this corner. Look at that centering right there. Perfectly anticipates, and this next example is a perfect example of how he uses centering to his advantage. This is the number one thing that I want to focus on for my console players, because you really need to put your crosshairs where you think people are going to be and anticipate. As he turns the corner, he's got perfectly centered crosshairs, allows him to be able to get that first shot. He's able to easily get that kill, especially with the hip fire. That is one tip that I have for you that he does really well, is if he's in too close to somebody, he's going to go ahead and hip fire that SMG. We aren't going to be focusing too much on aim and movement today because I want to focus on, information, distance, and centering, but it is going to play a factor. Real quick, by the way, Outlaw Beep just subscribed. If you are looking to get better Rebirth or Fortune's Keep, just consider subscribing. I do videos every single day just helping people get better. Now he's going to go ahead and push up here. He's going to push in. He's going to once again center his crosshairs. He uses audio to his advantage. When we're using audio, we can't rely on directional audio. Audio just tells us that somebody is close to us. Then we need to anticipate. He's going to anticipate right here. And notice that right here, even when he slides in a little bit, this distance, he is in a very good spot. And this I want to highlight for you is you're in an okay spot here on console. FOV is not going to play a factor. If this guy jumps left, if this guy jumps right, it's a very simple adjustment in this distance. So I want you to understand how close that you can play to people where FOV is not a factor. He's going to easily get that kill. Now he's going to quick replay right here. He's going to shoulder this corner and C1 pushing. Sees this guy pushing. So now he challenges us. Once again, good distance right here. No issue with tracking this guy at all. FOV's not a factor. Now, this is on him to execute, which he does. He gets the thirst based on, just hitting shots using movement to his advantage. But that distance is not an issue, and he shouldered that corner perfectly to be able to get that information. Now, he hears one down below right here. Now, he's going to go ahead and challenge. Once again, look at the centering. That allows him to get that first shot off. Now he's basically given this guy a lot of damage. He's done a lot of damage to this player. Hasn't taken much in return. That gives him the advantage. This guy jumps right. FOV's not a factor. He just makes a little bit of an adjustment. He keeps his distance well, but more importantly, he centers his crosshairs where he thought that person was going to be. Now this guy's going to push in. Let's think about this real quick. Player on buy station calls in precision. I would 100% anticipate this guy pushing through this window. And if you're Viatic, now I actually didn't catch this in all the times that I've watched this, which has been 3 or 4, that he actually has tempered. So I thought he was actually putting another plate in. He's actually okay right here. And this is solos. Look, this is a 1.21 KD lobby. There are going to be people who don't have that full awareness. You're also going to deal with sweaty players. So you really always have to anticipate. You've got to anticipate that somebody's going to be a good player. He's able to get Lodi down right here. Gets Lodi down. Notices that one is above him. So once again, going to go ahead and push. Gets one right there. Immediately challenges enemy number 2. And he just does a really good job here of just execution on this gunfight. He hip fires, right? So right here, this is where he gets in too close to somebody and he hip fires his SMG, which is a massive tip for my console players because you really can't miss. I mean, that guy's almost taking up the whole entire screen. So you really can't miss there. Now he's going to grab loadout, and he's got UAV, so he's got the information. He's going to keep acting upon that throughout this game. This gameplay is a little bit older, so he's running the Blixen. He's running the STG, which the STG is not good anymore. I'll link my meta video down in the comments below as well for you. And then he's got Serpentine, Overkill, Combat Scout, Stims, and Throwing Knives. Now he's going to go ahead and challenge right here. Notice the centering. Good job centering. Notice the distance. Once again, not in a situation where he can get his camera broken because this player's not actually close enough. He's going to aim in. He executes really well right there. He takes a little bit more damage, but that's part of solos with sweaty players is you are going to take a little bit more damage. But we do want to see, and we're going to see him start to get a lot of cleaner kills. He's going to keep pushing. Tries to see if one's across. Can't see, and he plays this so perfectly. There's so many great situations that he does, and this is why I chose this gameplay today. Pushes across. Watch the pre-aiming around this corner. Pre-aims. Here's one below. Here's one kind of pushing upstairs, maybe. So we're going to go ahead. I pulled back by accident. We're going to go ahead and push all the way up. He's going to challenge this guy across. I wish there was a way for me to easily fast forward. I need a fast forward hotkey. So we're going to go ahead. He's going to challenge inside, and we want to pay attention to him pre-aiming corners. It's something that console players can do a lot of to add an extra layer. It's something anybody can do to add an extra layer of anticipation. So as he turns this corner, he hears one. So he's going to go ahead and pre-aim here. Boom, right around the corner. And that allows him to be able to get this first shot. And look, the TTK at the end of the day is so fast that this guy doesn't have an opportunity to even react. Boom. The guy's already dead, and because of how fast the Blixen kills. He's got 11 kills, and he's on really good pace. He's easily on 30 bomb pace right here. The lobby's going to end up dying out a little bit. Not enough money for UAV. So what piece of information do we act on? He's going to go ahead and push left. Checks that way a little bit, checks that way. And the one thing I will say is just centering a little bit higher. You can see it when I talk about centering higher. This is one of the biggest things that I want you to work on. Force those crosshairs up even higher. And let's talk about this situation. I'm going to preemptively slow this down. As he pushes down, he's going to catch this guy right here. Boom, he catches this guy. Now watch how he uses his movement to push away from enemy number 2 and open up his FOV to keep his distance. And this is where you can start to use a slide cancel to open up that FOV. It's one of 2 ways that you can open up your FOV. He's going to slide away. Now, all of a sudden, he's in a really good distance, jumps a little bit to get a higher damage area shot. That allows him to win that gunfight. So when we speed this up, watch how he slides behind cover. He's going to use the heady to his advantage. Doesn't worry about the thirst, but he's in a really good distance right here. And that's, again, what I talk about by keeping your distance. He's going to push away from that enemy. And this next play, by the way, this next play is one of the craziest plays I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen somebody pull this off so perfectly. He's going to go ahead and push up. Here's one to his left. Centers around the corner. Right there. He's going to use the door, which, by the way, I might do video on door plays because door plays are a lot of fun and they are very useful. But he jumps straight across. I don't know how he perfectly timed that to get over that ledge, but he's going to hip fire. Right, so he hip fires that because of how close he is. Doesn't even worry about ADSing because when you ADS that close, you've got to worry about tracking. You know, if that guy makes a slight move to the right, that's very difficult for a console player to track. So when you're that close, you want to be basically hip firing as much as possible, knowing that you're not going to miss. The other move that we've seen Reed Boy do, who's one of the best console players, is using his throwing knives and just launching those things because they do a lot of damage. Now, the one play I want to talk about, one of a few plays that I want to talk about in terms of things he could have done better is right here. Now, he's on, console, so, and this isn't even a console play, to be honest with you. He actually jumps up, which puts him in a weird spot because notice he has his crosshairs out now, but he didn't like half a second ago, which puts him in a position to basically lose that first shot. So what I would have done instead right here is as we pull back is I would have gone around that kind of ledge right here. So instead of jumping up and getting caught with your crosshairs basically not being out, I would have pushed around here and tried to see what I can find, which would have prevented putting me in a bad situation because both people right here are stuck without their crosshairs out. And then it's just a race. And he wins this because that guy doesn't have any health, which is fine. We take those. But I want to avoid those situations as much as possible. I, even as a PC player, want to avoid putting myself in any bad situation. Now we're going to go ahead and push up here. 15 kills, still 17 other people. Again, how does he act on information? How does he keep his distance? And watch his centering. Centering around corners. He's going to center around this corner. And even right there, it's good. It's really good centering with his height. It could be a little bit higher, but I'm not too concerned. He's going to act on information. Try to see what he can find. Here's one this way. Now, notice this guy right here. This guy right here, good player, slides around this corner so hard. Slide cancels to get his crosshairs out. Throws in a little bit of jump to hit the high damage areas. He gets that kill, but notice the distance right here. Notice he's not in any position to get his camera broken because of that 5 to 7 meter range, and he's able to use that to his advantage, keep that FOV open, make it a little bit easier for himself to track. Now he's going to go ahead and push up right here, act on this next piece of information, which we just saw was a player to the right. He's going to catch a bunch down this way. Now let's talk about this. This is such a beautiful, beautiful play by Viatic, and this is movement number 2 that a console player can use to really open up that FOV. He's going to push in. He's going to quick reload right here. And we're going to slow this down. He gets caught in a weird spot where they both challenge at the exact same time. Now, I don't know if this rose skin is on PC or not, but as he challenges, right, they both challenge. So he's actually going to jump backwards. He's going to jump backwards to keep that distance, open up that FOV a little bit. Then he's going to track this enemy and actually get the kill. So notice the jump backwards, and he incorporates that hip fire that we've been talking about to be able to get that kill right there. So as we speed this up and pull this back, watch again, full speed. It's a very quick movement. You're going to pull back on that left stick to open up that FOV. He hip fires. He's able to execute and get that kill. So those are kind of the 2 main movements that we want to talk about. The first is going to be, of course, kind of jumping backwards to open up that FOV. And the second is going to be slide canceling a little bit further so that you can then turn and have that FOV be open. Now he's going to go ahead and buy UAV, figure out where the next enemy is. 17 kills, 14 people up. He hears one above. Now, this is another situation where he gets caught in a really weird spot right here. He knows that one's up above. He tries to see. I don't like this position right here, by the way. I don't like pushing into here. This is just... if you're going to push into here, you absolutely 100% have to hip fire because of how close quarters it is. It's such a tough spot and a tough way to challenge. He's going to push across. I like that. The only play I didn't like was him pushing into that bathroom. Now he's going to go ahead and challenge here. Watch the hip fire. Boom, doesn't even worry about ADSing, just almost sprays. Like we joke around about spray and pray. But hey, in that situation, just spray and pray. Just let it loose, knowing that it's going to be very difficult for you to miss. And that's where we start to talk about using FOV to your advantage. You know, long range is an advantage for console players because you can see a little bit more, you know, because of how zoomed in it is. And that situation where you can hip fire and literally not miss. Now he's going to go ahead and challenge down below. He's going to anticipate. He's going to anticipate. He gets caught a little bit right here, not anticipating with intent, not anticipating that somebody's actually here. He hears this guy, but he almost like gets caught off guard. Now, in this situation right here, once again, watch his distance because he actually doesn't do a good job right here of keeping his distance. He pushes in. I don't know why he didn't shoot right here, but this player should have killed him. This player has an ego. This player wanted to try to go for the quick scope for whatever reason, but we'll take it. We'll talk about free kills in a second, but notice right here, he gets caught in a really bad spot. He makes an adjustment for it, but like he probably should have died in that situation because he got caught too close to that enemy. With free kills, if somebody wants to have an ego and try to quick scope like that, go for it. We take those kills, we take players flying in that are just floating, and we take, you know, of course, players that are AFK. I don't care, not my problem. Now, when it comes to farming in solos, this player was sweaty. Go ahead and get him out. Once again, just going with the hip fire, just letting it loose. He knows that it's going to be very difficult for him to actually miss there, so he's going to use that to his advantage. A lot of stuff we've covered today, right? Information, centering, keep your distance, hip fire if you're too close, slide cancel to open up that FOV, jump backwards to open up that FOV. Now he's going to challenge right here. He plays a little bit more patient. Let me slow down a little bit. He plays a little bit more patient. Instead of pushing this guy, he doesn't get pushed. He just waits. He just waits for this guy to push him. Does that guy have any plates? No, not my problem. At the end of the day, he's still going to get that kill very cleanly. $5,400. I'd probably go buy UAV right here. He's got 21 kills, still 10 other people. Anatomy of a 30 bomb. Gotten a lot of questions about this. Anatomy of a 20 bomb, 6 in the first, 6 in the second, 4 in the third, 4 in the end game. Anatomy of a 30 bomb, I think I'm going with 10 in the first, 8 in the second, you know, 7 in the third, and then 4 in the last, or maybe like 10, 9, 7, 10, 9, 6. Somewhere in that range. It's got to be like 10-9, and then you kind of got to just keep pushing towards the end. Now, once again, I don't like this play right here. He should have waited to see where the combat scout went. Use that combat scout to his advantage. He probably would have seen that he was re-challenging, but right here, he gets caught with the door play that somebody else, or that he used earlier, and he gets caught too close. Really bad position. Now he's going to go challenge, and he gets caught in a really weird spot. He ends up winning this gunfight, but he makes it a lot tougher on himself because he doesn't keep his distance. Right, he's challenging, he's just playing a little bit too aggressive. I'd slow down a little bit, try to figure out where the audio cue is and start to center instead of constantly moving around, because you're kind of losing that advantage of keeping your distance in that scenario. Especially in a building like this where it's super close quarters. 22 kills. He's got 6 other people still alive. Can't go buy UAV because there's people everywhere. There's people all in this area, so you can't risk going to buy a UAV right here. He's going to go see what he can find backside this way. Here's one to his left. Not going to go challenge. That's okay. One thing I will say is, like, paying attention to gas a little bit earlier. He gets caught on a late gas rotation right here. Does he get killed by it? No, but he puts himself in a really, really tough spot. He's going to be rotating out in the open, and all you need is one person to be up on this hill just holding people, and you're dead. He's going to use the stim for the speed boost. One console tip, by the way. If you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it. You are moving the exact same speed as PC players. I promise you. Trust it. Trust your slide cancels. Trust your stims. Trust that you are moving the same speed as a PC player. It just looks a little bit slower because of FOV. He's going to go ahead and challenge right here. Once again, hip fires because this guy gets a little bit closer than he would like. No, he's not going to die to this guy. He's just executing based on the hip fire. That's what I wanted to really show you right there. 23 kills. He's going to pick up another 3 out of the 5. He's just got to figure out where they are. Not a ton of information. Could buy UAV if he wanted to. Rotate that way. He's going to end up rotating towards prison. Sees one up top. By the way, we talk about this situation right here. You know, when we talk about execution, he's going to miss a few shots here. And this is where if you miss a few more, this guy gets away. I think that's where a lot of you tend to struggle. Like, he missed some shots right there, which is fine. He's still able to get that kill. I think a lot of you miss shots like that. And then what ends up happening is that guy gets away and you lose that free kill. That's where we really have to execute in those situations. This guy pushes up right to him. Really good job of just hitting shots, not giving these enemies an opportunity to actually shoot back. Why do my enemies not shoot back? Why do people's enemies, you know, I see so many people out there who their enemies just don't shoot at them, yet mine always do. Well, a lot of times it's because you're giving them an opportunity. You're not anticipating, you're not hitting shots, you're not using movement to your advantage to avoid some bullets. Let's talk about this situation. He's got big game bounty over to the right. He also notices it was just 3 people left, right? So it's him and 2 others. Now it's down to 2, and he notices that there's a red dot over to the right. So he's just going to go ahead and he knows where this last enemy is, especially because he is the big game bounty. With big game bounties, great option for endgame for solos, duos, trios, and quads. Reason being is not only if you kill that guy, it gives you information about where everybody is, but especially in solos, it gives you information about exactly where, you know, this player is. And then, of course, as I mentioned, if you get the kill, it shows you where the whole entire lobby is. So it's a great option to, you know, use endgame. He's going to see this guy right here. He's going to go ahead and hit a bunch of shots. Guy drops down. He's going to go ahead and splat right there. 26 kills in the dub. I hope you found today's video helpful. Work on centering more than anything else. Keep your distance. Keep your crosshairs up. Let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.